To begin browsing for sites, click on the boxes in the Browse tab of the sidebar for the cultures or regions you want to look at. If you've used Google Maps or Google Earth before, you know there's just too much information to display all at once, so only a few things appear when you're zoomed all the way out, and more things appear in a specific area as you zoom in. GeoDia works the same way, but it's even more selective because there's a limited amount of room in the timeline. So for each box that you check for culture, only the 3 or 4 most important sites for each culture will appear. Note that if you check more than 3 cultures, you'll run out of space on the timeline, so additional sites may not appear on the timeline at all. As you zoom into a specific area, however, more sites in that area will become visible on the map and the timeline, while sites that are no longer visible on the map will disappear from the timeline as well. Some particularly important sites, however, will always appear on the timeline if there's room for them, even if they do not appear on the map. This is meant to allow you to jump to those important sites so that you can compare that material with material from the site you were looking at without zooming out. So here you can jump back to Athens even though you can't see it on the map. You can browse by cultures or by regions. The regions may seem a little strange at first. Because GeoDia is meant to emphasize connections, we chose not to use conventional definitions of ancient regions or the boundaries of modern nation-states. So for instance, both northern and southern Mesopotamia are in modern Iraq. Instead, our regions are defined by connectivity. They are areas where people were in contact and where styles and objects are shared. You can explore a map of these regions to figure out how they work. So here's the breakdown of those regions. When you check more than one box for culture, the results are cumulative. You just keep adding sites. So if I check Greek and then Persian, I will get both Greek and Persian sites. The same is true if you were checking only boxes for regions. So here I've checked Greece. I'll get Greek sites, and then I will add to those sites in the Western Mediterranean. If you check boxes for both culture and region, however, the results are filtered. If you check Greek and Western Mediterranean, you will only see Greek sites in the Western Mediterranean. If you check Greek, Western Mediterranean, and the Aegean, you'll see Greek sites in both the Western Mediterranean and the Aegean. If you check Greek, Punic, and Western Mediterranean, you will only see Greek and Punic sites in the Western Mediterranean, but you won't see any in the Aegean. Browsing events works almost exactly the same way. Here I'm checking Greek, Punic, and Western Mediterranean. The only difference is that events aren't filtered by importance. So all events in the dataset are supposed to appear on both the map and the timeline. There are a lot of events in certain periods, however, and as with sites, sometimes there isn't enough space on the timeline to show them all. If you're not seeing the results you want, or if you want to see what items in a given set of results aren't visible on the map or the timeline, you can search for specific sites or events, and you can manage results to display what you want to see. Our video on searching and managing results provides more details.